This meeting is being recorded.
Okay, good evening and welcome to the Diversity and Equity and Inclusion Committee meeting for April 18th, 2024. We're going to start with the land acknowledgement. We'd like to begin by respectfully acknowledging that the town of Shelburne resides within the traditional territories and ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, including the Ojibwe, Potawatomi, Chippewa, and the people of the Three Fires Confederacy. These traditional territories upon which we live, work, play, and learn are steeped in rich Indigenous history and traditions. And it's with this statement that we declare to honor and respect the past and present connections of Indigenous peoples with this land, its waterways, and its resources. Okay, let's get started with the adoption of the agenda. Before we do, I would like to, Alice?
So I just have one amendment to the agenda before the adoption of the agenda. Item 5.6, we've been asked to defer that to a future meeting. So we're just going to remove 5.6. The proposal request for support regarding the number 2 construction battalion is going to be deferred to a future meeting.
All right. Okay. Any other discussions about the agenda before we adopt it? Seeing none, could I have a motion to adopt this evening's agenda, please? Okay, thanks, Shane. And a seconder, please. Walter? Okay, great, thank you. So...
Call the vote.
Yes, let's call a vote. Good question. Okay. All in favor? Okay. And that's carried. Okay. A reminder to all the participants this evening of their pecuniary interests under the Municipal Conflict of Interest Act. If you have or feel you have one, please declare it now or during the course of the meeting as the items come up. Next is the adoption of the minutes for October 19th, 2023 and February 15th, 2024. We have to do those as 2 motions because of attendance. So first, could I get a mover to adopt the October 19th, 2023 minutes, please? Okay, moved by Stella, seconded by Francis.
Yeah. Francis wasn't there.
Oh, Francis was not that last meeting. Okay. So you have to be...
The other options would be Walter or Shane.
Oh, okay. Shane, go ahead.
Okay, Shane second. Can we, all in favor? Okay. Carried. Okay, and now for the adoption of the minutes from February 15, 2024.
Now, Francis.
Francis can move that one.
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Could we have a seconder, please?
Stella, you were there. Weren't you?
No, Walter, it has to be you or Len, Walter.
Oh, it'll be me then.
Okay, thanks, Walter. And,
I wasn't.
And all in favor, can we have a vote? Okay, carried. Okay, be it resolved that both those minutes from those meetings have been accepted. And let's get into general business and discussions. First is a new membership update. Do we have anything on that? Yep, Alice.
So this is Mandeep's first meeting with us. So we just wanted to welcome Mandeep Singh to the committee.
Thank you.
Mandeep is a new resident of Shelburne. If you wanted to say anything to introduce yourself, please feel free.
Sure. I've been a resident of Shelburne from December. We're just in the new development area where the Fieldgate homes are. So we just moved here. So it's just my family, my 2 children, my husband and my mother-in-law. So yeah, I do childcare from home right now, but I am a registered early childhood educator. And I was working for a little while with the Orangeville Public Library as public service assistant in their family literacy department. Took a little bit of a break to help my mother-in-law out right now because she has dementia, so I'm caring for her at home and the young one. So yeah, the plan is till September, and then we'll see where it goes after September. But I'm glad to be part of this committee and kind of help out with Shelburne and its development.
Okay, well, welcome. Thanks for putting your name forward and volunteering to be on our committee. Okay, anything else in terms of membership? That's it. Yes, no, maybe, no, we're good. All right. Okay, so we're going to ask Alethea O'Hare-Stevenson to give us an update on the Black History Month event from February. So Alethea, you have the floor.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Councillor Goshardi, for the opportunity to share, and thank you to the entire DEI committee. Mandeep, welcome to the committee. You're joining an amazing team. Alice, I'm not sure if I have the chance to share. Yes, I do. Perfect. So as always, thank you to the Town of Shelburne's DEI committee for supporting this year's Black History Month event. Once again, the event overall was a huge success. And the next few slides, I'm just going to talk about some of the highlights of the event, some of the opportunities. And of course, I will end with a few pictures of the event just to bring everything home. So in terms of successes, the event itself was a huge success in the grand scheme of things. We had amazing performers. As always, we always try to include our young people in these events. And so we had from the youngest preteen to our high school students participate. Liberty Silver, who is a Juno as well as a Grammy Award winner, was our featured speaker, and she was absolutely incredible and engaging with the audience. And I'm still hearing, you know, positive reviews about her performance and the overall event itself. We had incredible support from staff, and that goes without saying, you know, from Denise right down through to Councillor Goshardi in terms of, you know, support with audio and lighting. This was a true teamwork event, and DCCBA could not have done this without the support. So we've talked about coordination, the planning and execution from the inception of the idea right through to the date of the event. There was amazing support. OPP support was on site again, and I'll touch on some of the challenges and why OPP support was instrumental. Success, the venue goes without saying. You know, there was updates to the change room, dressing room this year. That was a huge hit. And Liberty Silver, again, being, even though she's not a diva, but she does, you know, come with that aura of just amazingness and excellence. So it was amazing to see a renovated change room for her, and she totally loved her experience here in the town of Shelburne. We also had incredible artwork that was organized by staff. I believe Chantal and others may have been instrumental in organizing the space. And so being able to incorporate some key DCCBA artifacts, just showcasing different individuals who have contributed to the fabric of Canada in terms of posters, was an amazing complement to the artwork that was displayed by some local artists. This year, again, we also did a little bit of fundraising. So we were able to raise just about, I think, $200. I don't have the exact numbers off the top of my head, but about $200 was donated to our local food bank, as well as some non-perishable items. Again, from a success perspective, the ongoing support of Black History Month, the proclamation, the flag raising ceremonies, having staff, having council present at these events was absolutely amazing. I don't think I touched on the support, not just financially and in kind from the DEI committee, but also the amount of support from volunteers from the DEI committee, individuals who were present there to support the event. I think the entire committee was there except for you, Deputy Mayor. But again, that representation, that support, you know, goes a long way and greatly appreciated. In terms of challenges, what we what we noticed was that, the start time, even though we aimed to start on time at 6 p.m., we ended up starting late. Several individuals showed up late. We also had the protest taking place that posed some earlier concerns, and I believe weather may have attributed to some of the lateness, some last-minute cancellations. So even though we had a sold-out event before the show date, at the date of the event itself, we had some last-minute cancellations, which resulted in some empty seats. Even though individuals were still showing up who were not registered, we didn't want to take the chance of including them just simply from a safety and precaution perspective. So there were some empty seats, and that was one of the challenges, and perhaps an opportunity that we can look at for the future. So going forward, some of the things that we can look at, possibly changing the date so that it doesn't coincide with the freedom fighters. If we look ahead to next year, we typically do our events on the last Saturday in February. The date is the exact same date that the freedom fighters would potentially have their event. And I believe next year would be a milestone event. So consider changing the time is something that we're looking at, as well as the date. To accommodate for the number of empty seats, and by no means was the theater empty. We had a significant turnout, but when we had an event that was completely sold out, I was expecting to see every seat filled with standing room only for volunteers. There were a few seats that were empty. And so we're looking at consider a small fee just to have people a little bit more accountable and not just register and not show up. And if we do that, that's another way that we can raise some funds and potentially donate again back to our local food bank. As always, event sponsors, above and beyond the DEI committee, we had some individuals who came about to provide additional support to us in order to help plan our Black History Month event. And goes without saying, earlier planning, every year I say this, but we always go down to the wire and do some last minute planning that always turns out to be incredible. But I think to help alleviate some of the stress and the anxiety that goes into these events, earlier planning would definitely help. And of course, the ongoing collaboration, looking for other opportunities where we can collaborate with the DEI committee, as well as looking at partnerships with other organizations as well to help reduce costs. And just to showcase some of the highlights of the event. So as always, we like to capture some of our key performers, speakers, and dignitaries as a group picture. This year's no exception. We were able to get a few individuals on. Well, Councillor Gashardi, who was our incredible sound engineer, lighting engineer, jack of all trades. The amount of effort that he put in behind the scenes just to coordinate sound and to coordinate making sure that we had all the right tracks in place. And we had some fun moments during the event with him and Liberty. And again, it just goes to show the level of professionalism, the support, and the amazing, easy nature of Councillor Gashardi and the support that he provides for these events. So thank you again for all of your support. And I'm calling you out specifically because you were key in making this event come to life. We couldn't have had a successful performance without your expertise and your knowledge. Some other key highlights, again, I was able to capture at least one picture with Sarah from the museum, who was another instrumental player in the event. Excuse me. Of course, a shot with Liberty Silver, or OPP officer. Again, we've got Stella, who was instrumental in helping to organize and put together the event. One of our keynote speaker, Captain Kevin Janor, and of course, our DEI equity lead, Rohan from the county. And last but not least, just to shout out the acknowledgements again, we could not have had a successful event without your support. We talk about the in-kind support as well as the financial support was amazing. We could not have done this event without you at the table. Museum of Dufferin, Dufferin County, and of course, representation from council as well as staff was absolutely fantastic. So goes without saying, despite the stress, despite all of the anxiety going into putting on a successful event overall, I am well pleased, and I'm gathering that based on the feedback from the audience members and participants, Liberty, continues to sing our praises for the town of Shelburne and for the event itself, which I think is a testament to our ongoing collaboration and the success of the event itself. So thank you to the DEI committee. Thank you to all of you volunteers, the staff, everyone that made the event the success that it was. And I'll stop sharing, and I'm open for any questions that anyone may have.
Any questions, anybody? First of all, Alethea, thank you for the report and for the update. Anybody comments, questions? Okay, seeing none, I'm going to move on. Do we need a motion to accept this report, or we're just going to take it as it is? Okay, terrific. Thank you. And we look forward to your second report at a future meeting. Okay, Alethea?
Absolutely.
And thank you for all of your hard work putting that event together. It was fun to be a part of. Amazing.
Thank you. And thank you once again for all of your support. Talk again soon.
Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, so let's move on then to 5.3. We have a council update on the pilot painted crosswalk program, and I believe that's coming from Alice. Is that correct?
That can come from me unless one of the councillors would like to, or I can speak to it. Either one is fine.
Walter, Shane, either of you like to?
Basically, it was a pilot project that we've been trying over the last couple of years. And even though we painted on some of the streets, noticed by the amount of traffic that's on them that the paint basically wasn't lasting. So we tried to move it to an additional street, James Street, and it's a less used street, but even there with the weather and even with the low amount of traffic, again, the paint didn't really stand up on that street. So to continue to paint throughout the spring, summer, and fall, those streets over and over again to keep it fresh looking or whatever, to make it at least worthwhile, it's enormous in cost. And with our weather, with the amount of traffic, with everything that's going on, it just comes down that it's just not a very good idea. So council staff has recommended to council, due to the cost, due to the amount of wear and tear that those painted walkways are taking, that it not be continued. It was a pilot program. It was something we wanted to try out. Other communities have tried it and have realized the same as us that it is not a sustainable something that can be continued on and on and on. So they are also discontinuing it. So that is something that, as I said, staff recommended to council. Council has agreed with staff, and we are discontinuing it. Now, that doesn't mean that we're still not going to do something in some form or way to recognize what those street crosswalks were recognizing. And hopefully some of those ideas will come out of this committee with recommendations to council that we can recognize both our native heritage as well as the, and I'm not going to be right with your acronyms, LGBTQT and all the rest of the alphabet, people that should be recognized. It can be in other forms or ways. One suggestion that came up during the council meeting was similar to our heroes flags that we use at the for the war veterans. We put them up along on light posts. That could be an idea. So any ideas that anybody comes up with and or it's thinking about and may come through this committee can be brought forward to council. Have I got it all encapsulated basically? Or did I miss something?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I know there's a link to the program itself, and it can be found. Is that on the town website?
Yeah, the link is to the council meeting where it was discussed, the video of the council meeting where it was discussed.
Okay, and anybody who wants to see that can go to the town website and click on that link. Do we want to have a little discussion now about some ideas, or do we just want to leave that where it sits right now? That's entirely up to the committee. I know, Walter, you had mentioned flags and banners. Are there any other ideas that we can possibly think of now, or is it something we want to put on another agenda?
Just something small at certain parks in Shelburne, maybe like a monument or something for each one, maybe with a dedication with some history on it, maybe.
Okay. Okay. Anyone else?
I know I advocate this from time to time, but we used to, and you'll remember this because during your youth as much as we used to have a thing that went right across the street for fiddle contests. And went from light post to light post.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they don't allow us to put it up on the highway, but on our own streets, which we control.
Right.
Similar to the idea of a crosswalk, if we could have a banner or something that went, not a banner, what do you call those things that go across from lamppost to lamppost? But something like that with the same sort of idea with the feathers on it or with the rainbow colors on it. You know what I'm trying to get at?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah.
Going across those streets that we were looking at putting the painted crosswalk somewhere in that way there. And it might be something that staff has to check out if we've got the light posts that are able to handle it. But that might be one idea as well.
Okay. All right. Okay. Anybody else? Maybe that's something we stick, maybe leave right now and brainstorm and come back to a future meeting for. But those are both two good ideas, and thanks for those, Mandeep and Walter. And Walter, thanks for that update as well, please. And great.
One thing to fall back on Mandeep's idea, on each, when you notice the Heritage Building, there's a little plaque in the front in a round format that tells you the bit of the history of why whatever is done there. Same with our back lanes. We can do something somewhere in that format as well, maybe talking about why we're having the native, whatever we're doing, whether it's banners or whatever, little thing of that nature there, painting out that this used to be similar to our land acknowledgement along there, and talk about what Native people were in this area at one point in time, so that it gives people a bit of the history. So that's just another idea, just off the top of my head.
Okay, great. Okay, thank you for that. Let's move along to 5.4, which is a number of upcoming events and opportunities for us to promote the DEI committee. May 2nd is our EDC breakfast that starts at 6:30 in the morning on May the 2nd. I know I will be in attendance at that meeting. Is there anyone else that's going to be attending the EDC breakfast? Possibly. Yes, no, maybe.
I'm not sure at this time.
That's too early in the morning for some of us. I know, I get it. I will be there. I will talk to Carol and maybe see if there's an opportunity to just acknowledge presence. Stella, are you going to that, or Stella, did you have something to
Yeah,
say?
what's the date? The date on that?
It is on May the 2nd.
Next Thursday.
Next Thursday, yes,
Oh.
May 2nd. And I think it starts at 6:30 or 6 or 6:30 in the morning. I've got it written down in my calendar somewhere here.
I think it's 7 o'clock for the people, I think, coming in. 6:30 is for the volunteers to get there.
Oh, okay. All right. I was under the impression it was going to be a 6:30 to 8:30 event, but.
I have a quick question. Why is it so early in the morning?
It's that way because a lot of the people are business people that come in, open stores and whatnot. They need to get back to their businesses or whether,
Oh,
so it's a breakfast. It's an opportunity for them to come in. It's an opportunity for them to hear about the updates, one about what's going on in Shelburne. There's usually a guest speaker there speaking on economic development, economics. So that's just an opportunity for the business people or anyone who from the town who buys a ticket to go to be there and to be able to get back to whatever their business or the remainder of the home life. That's why it's that early in the morning.
oh, okay. Thanks. Thank you.
Alice,
Okay.
Alice has her.
Yep. Alice, I'm sorry. Yeah, go ahead. I didn't see.
Yeah, so I did just confirm the breakfast is 6:30 to 8:30 in the morning. That is the time of the breakfast. The tickets are $25 plus HST. If someone from the DEI committee wanted to attend as a representative from the DEI committee to promote the DEI committee, we can pay for the breakfast from the DEI budget. So, but you do have to have a ticket to eat the breakfast if you want to go. So.
Okay.
I gather they have to let you know, Alice?
Yep, you can let me know. That's fine.
Okay, and there's also an opportunity for the DEI committee to be have some visibility at Canada Day, which is July 1st. And I don't know, I know I'm going to be there again. Yep, Alice?
So the idea behind the events was the possibility of considering having a table or a booth at events where members of the DEI committee would be at the table or at the booth, whichever it is, and speak to make residents more aware of the DEI committee and the responsibilities of the committee and what is being done by the committee within the town. So if the committee wanted to have a presence at one of these events, we would need volunteers to man a table or a booth at the event if that's what the committee so chose. So there's a few dates here, a few different opportunities coming up that the committee could consider, probably not for, the breakfast to fully man a booth or whatever for the breakfast, which is in 2 weeks, but Canada Day is still a little bit off. Fall Fair is still a little bit further off. So the committee could consider those dates to have a table or a booth and man that to make people aware.
And we don't have dates yet for the 6 Fridays in the park, but I assume that's going to be an opportunity as well for us to have a table there. So yeah, so it would be a little bit of manpower and a table and some brochures possibly, and just some public engagement. So how do we want to? I know we can't get a commitment. I don't want a commitment from you today, but if you are able to commit to one of those events, then that would be amazing to have the opportunity to share with the community what the DEI committee does. So
can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Yeah, I was wondering for the Canada Days one, what time is that? Is it at and where?
The Canada Day committee, or sorry, the Canada Day event. Oh, Alice, do you want to jump in? Okay.
Yes. So the Canada Day event is being held at Fiddle Park, which is the park that's just by the No Frills. There will be activities going on starting at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. There's a vendor market which the DEI committee could be a part of, the vendor market specifically, is from 3 until 8. And then fireworks are going to be in the park at dusk. There's going to be live entertainment. So, you know, the committee could choose, you know, based on what availability of those that are interested. But ideally, you know, between the hours of 3 to 8 when the market is going to be open would be the ideal hours.
Thank you.
And again, sitting under a pop-up tent and enjoying a little bit of the atmosphere of Canada Day and just some public engagement and public relations, basically. So that's basically would be your responsibilities per se. Okay. Should we leave that for if anyone wants to volunteer for those? We can have something a little more concrete the next meeting. Makes sense? All right. Moving on to 5.5, the National Day of Truth and Reconciliation, Orange Shirt Day, Monday, December 30th, 2024. I guess we want to open up some discussion about that. I know we won't have necessarily the sidewalk this year, but does anyone have any ideas on how we can proceed with that? I know in the past we've had an Indigenous speaker, we've had a video presentation, we've had the ceremony and the walk from the memory walk around town with some candles.
Yeah, I was thinking for that
Elise?
event. Yes, sorry, can I speak?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, we're
Just one suggestion. I'm
No.
not sure how this would be possible, but it would be nice to have some Indigenous sort of snack or something of their food to be there on display, either for sale or as a sample for persons coming in. And I think that would attract a lot more people as well.
Okay.
Is it possible to get someone from one of the Free Fires Confederacy, the Potawatomi, or the Ojibwe, one of the
Ojibwe or the
Potawatomi?
Yes, yeah, okay, go ahead.
Fires Confederacy, one of their elders to be at that event that night there. They can bring down, they know they have ceremonies that they perform, and it would be fantastic, being as we're acknowledging this as being their territory to begin with. If we can get an elder from one of those tribes to come down and give us a little bit of their history, give us a little bit of whatever, and following up on I'm never going to say your name right,
Dulles, that's fine. That's fine. Eunice, Dulles, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah.
Suggestion, food, whatever they would be willing to bring down and educate us on would be something worth having there that day, if possible.
I know the reason I'm flipping through my phone is because we had Debbie Egerton. I don't know if you know her.
She's more Métis than what I'm sort of getting.
Yeah, yeah. I that's the only contact.
But
yeah,
to have someone from the actual.
She had asked, Debbie had asked me at the 100th anniversary of the Vimy Ridge ceremony to pass her name along should we want anyone from the Métis to come and do a ceremony. She did the smudging ceremony at that event. I believe last year we had something from Oh gosh.
He was supposed to be there, I think, last year. And
Yes.
happened. He wasn't.
You know, she didn't come. You know.
Yeah.
But
Okay. Anyway, Debbie had mentioned something about maybe having some sort of a garden planted. I know we've done that in the past, maybe having a little Three Sisters.
native, went in that discussion, and she was talking about the native plants, that medicine plants that they use, and maybe them in Jack Downey Park.
Yes, yes. Oh, sorry. Yeah, anyhow, there's always that possibility. Okay, so can we get some follow-up on some of the other Indigenous communities maybe participating? I'm not necessarily sure at this point in time where to chase that down, but
maybe staff, you know. So
I know staff has some contacts, I think. Is that, Alice, is that something staff can sort of track down for us?
We'll see what we can find for you.
Okay, appreciate it. Okay. Other than that, it's
1 second. Sorry.
Go ahead. No.
I see Stella has a hand up, and I also have my hand up. I'm
sorry. I'm looking for this and not in the upper right corner. So okay, so let's go to Stella, and then we'll come back to Duluth. Stella.
Yes. My question was: is there a time frame for the program? Over the years, I've noticed that it's a bit too short. You go there and it's just within less than an hour and it's over. We incorporate some Indigenous entertainment or something, or is there a time factor? Do we need to make it short, or it's possible to expand it a little bit so that the public could see more? Because sometimes you invite people, and by the time they get there, we are done. So I'm not sure whether we have the time to extend it a little bit, or it conflicts with some programs. I'm not sure. Just asking.
Okay, I think we can certainly look into that. Thanks, Stella. I know in the past two, it's been, I think the walk was about 30 minutes, and then the ceremonies before were, I mean, it was an hour, maybe an hour and 20 minutes tops. So I see where you're coming from in terms of time. Okay.
Clear Linda, we did it, and started at Greenwood Park, and we started at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on that one. And we had the smoke ceremony that they do. And the one there at that particular one. So that's why I got back about getting the elders there, and they have the ability to do some of these things that you or I, who don't have the knowledge, or you know what I'm saying, don't have the ability to do that. So that's something as we go along, maybe we can plan, and depending on who we are able to get there, we may be able to expand that time frame.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Stella. I think we'll get staff maybe track down some possibilities on how to extend the time for that event. Duluth, you wanted to speak to this as well?
Yeah, I was just thinking of having a drumming, do some drumming at that event. Of course, that would probably extend the time, and that would be a bit of, that would be something that I believe would encourage the community to come out too as well.
And if I can repeat myself, that was done at the very first event. That was one of the things we did have, was a drumming at that event there. And again, it really helps if we have people from the Indigenous community there to do this, because they know how to do it and do it properly.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. The Indigenous people, they're the ones that I would expect to be there. No one else.
And we do have budget for this. Is that correct, Alice? Okay, so I know we can probably get some budget allocated for that specific event. Okay, any other discussion on,
And
yes,
you got Alice's hand now.
Alice, yes.
So if the committee members are aware or know of any Indigenous individuals, have any contacts that would be able to provide some of this, ideally it would be the committee, not staff, reaching out to these individuals and organizing this. You know, if staff have contacts, we will portray that to the committee. But ideally it would be members of the committee organizing and corresponding with these individuals.
Okay, do we need a sub-working group to?
That could be a good
follow that up?
possibility.
That's something that we might do. Would we have anybody willing to form a subcommittee group to chase down and identify some of the potential participants for Truth and Reconciliation Day?
I wouldn't mind being a part of it, and I may have contacts. The only thing is that they're not from around the area. They would be in the Toronto area,
okay.
and not sure if we have budget for things like that coming from that distance.
Okay, yeah, Shane?
I think the main thing, as long as they're coming from the people of the Three Fires Confederacy, because that's a very large encompassing group. And you find that I think, if I go back in my memory bank, I'm pretty certain that they're based out of the Mississauga area as it is already. So as long as they're in that grouping, I think we're okay.
Okay.
And if I can add, Len, Debbie did mention that we also have an Indigenous group here in the town that live here. So when you, if it's possible, that you have her contact, when you reach out to her, if she knows any of those Indigenous people that actually live within the community, and if they are part of that confederacy, that would be fantastic, being that they live here.
Okay, good. All right, so far we have Duluth on the subcommittee. Anyone else wanting to take on a subcommittee? Shane, yeah. Okay, that was a hand up to volunteer for that working group? Okay, great. So Shane, and one more.
I'm already on the organizing group, painting the rocks, and so I don't know, I can still volunteer to help.
Okay. Did you want to be on this subcommittee working on? Okay. All right. Okay. So do we need a motion to form the subcommittee? All right. So
I'll move it.
Okay. Let's hear what the motion. The motion is going to be a subcommittee forming Duluth, Shane, and Stella in order to help identify.
Committee be formed to contact Indigenous people and create events for Orange Day on Monday. What date was that again? Sorry, I lost the date now.
September 14. No, correction.
Monday,
September 30th. Monday, September 30th.
2024.
Yep. Okay. Are you moving that, Walter?
I'm moving it.
Okay. We have someone second that. Mandeep. Okay. You can second that, and let's call a vote. All in favor? Opposed? I don't see any. Okay, carried. All right, 5-6.
Glenn, can I just speak to the subcommittee for a quick second before we move on?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Sorry.
So the three of you do not have to include staff in your meeting, so you can coordinate. You can via email or however, what's going to be best for you. Just we do ask that you report back to the committee. Dulis, you specifically mentioned finances for paying for people to come. If you get individuals who said, yes, I will come and this is what it would cost, then you would have to bring that to the committee and have the committee vote on that cost. And so I would need to, we'll just have on the agenda going forward an update from the sub working group. If you have an update, great. If you don't, it'll just carry forward. And if you have any questions or need any information, if I have any information from other staff members, I will forward that to you, and don't hesitate to contact me if you have any questions.
Okay. Thank you, Alice. Alice, did we have a record of what we spent last year, what the budget was for last year's event?
I'm sorry, I can't pull that up at my fingertips at this moment.
Okay, no, that's fine. Can we maybe have that for the shared with the sub-working group, and then eventually this committee? Okay. All right. 5, 6 has been deferred. Number 6, any new business? Anybody have anything that they want to discuss? The floor is open. Francis, yes? Francis, you're still on mute. Go ahead.
He's muted. Maybe we lost him.
Yeah. Francis, we see your hand, but you're still on mute. Okay, maybe Francis is having a little driving / technical difficulty. So maybe we can, anybody else have any ideas or comments or discussion on any issues they may want to address, bring up? Okay, I don't see any other than Francis, and I don't know if he's hung up or if he can't mute at this time. So we'll give him a, oh, there he is.
Oh,
hey, Francis.
All right. Can you hear me?
Absolutely. Go ahead. You have the floor.
Okay. So I was just wondering, in the interest of diversity, like March was Asian Heritage Month, with a significant number of Muslims in the community. I know last weekend was a big event when they're celebrating Eid. Was hoping, could we organize something so that normally they like to share food when they celebrate this event. And I didn't see anything, maybe I missed something, but I didn't see anything that could bring the Muslim or Sikh community, which we have a significant number in the community, to bring everyone together. Like I said, there was no event, nothing. Is this something that we can do in March, this time of the year, like on a weekend when they celebrate Eid, so that we can have like a community sharing food on an evening dinner or something?
Sorry, can I say something? So I think with Eid, I think it's the dates are different about that. The dates fall on different times.
Mm-hmm.
I know with the Sikh heritage, there was flag raising. I know more can be done. So, I mean, I don't mind helping out with that when the time comes or when need be. But I know with Eid, it's different dates and times. I think we'd have to find out how that works.
Yes, but for Eid, it's definitely different times of the year. It could be early in the year, could be late in the year. Sometimes it coincides around Christmas. It's really all over. And I don't know how they come up with the dates. So we'd have to tap into that resource, someone who is of that faith, and figure out how it works.
Does it necessarily have to fall on a specific date? Could we have a cultural food festival? Could we have a cultural sampling day? I'm not sure what that
because they're fasting during that time. The Ramadan is for fasting, so they can't eat, so they wouldn't be able to do that unless it's in the evening.
Yeah.
Because I
Yeah.
think it breaks at sunset. Yeah, the fasting goes until sunset or sometime in the night. I'm not sure what time. So,
No,
because
but I was just
You don't have to have it on their holiday, on Eid or on any specific date. You can have it outside of that. I think if you want to have a cultural event where you have food from different cultures coming together, you just have to plan a day, invite members of the Sikh community, invite members of other Muslim faiths. You can invite anyone that's of Hindu faith. You can invite anyone in the community of whatever faith they are or
Yep.
whatever nationality they are. If they want to share their cultural food, you just have to have a place to organize it in and people to come there with their national food and decide to share it. It doesn't have to be any specific date. I know when I was campaigning, I had an opportunity to meet with a lot of the Sikh community. They shared their food with me. It's fantastic. It's very spicy, unfortunately. It's something I'm not very good at handling, but it was absolutely tasty, whatever I could eat. And they are very generous in their food. I've been invited many times by the Muslims to come out to their events. And so it's not very difficult just to have that cultural interchange.
Okay, Mandeep.
I think with the Canada Day celebrations in July, kind of incorporating all this, so all faiths, because Shelburne's still growing with all the faiths, right? I don't think we can have individual groups strong enough yet to do something just focused on one group. But Canada Day, I think, is a great opportunity to get everyone with the different faith groups in and kind of do something that represents their faith. So it doesn't necessarily have to be food. It could be information about their religion or background. It could be a craft, or it could be something that they'd like to share, songs or dance or anything like that. So kind of,
I know we have had dance in the past at the Canada Day event. And I'm just trying to think, we're starting to approach Canada Day. It's kind of getting down, we're 3 months away. It might be a little tight to organize food. But if we have any vendors, or if you know of any vendors, a little cross promotion here, because I'm on the Canada Day committee. If you know of any vendors interested in participating in Canada Day, by all means, invite them to join up.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay. All right, back to the DEI part of this again. Okay, so that's a potential possible. I love that idea, having some sort of a food event, because everybody likes cultural foods. We just have to be, and again, it doesn't have to be on any given specific day, as Walter had indicated. Anything else that we can, anybody else have any discussions? Francis, that was a good start. Stella.
Yeah, I just wanted to say I agree with the Canada Day as the cultural exchange day.
Okay. Shane, was that a hand up or just a nervous twitch? Canada Day. All right. Do we want to maybe open up our next Canada Day meeting to anybody who wants to come along, or if you know of anybody who has any foods, or that would be good to
the West African group is strong in the town, so I'll inform them. We have a Ghanaian group. We have a lot of Ghanaians in the. I'm from Ghana, anyways, so we have a group that a platform that I could inform them to participate.
Perfect. Deleuze?
Yeah, I know that we have a big population of Blacks, and so because Stella was referring to the African, we probably could join them. I could see what's happening, what we can do, for sure.
Okay, that's great. Okay, terrific. Anyone else? No? Yes?
Len?
Yeah. Yep.
I happened to go to one of the cricket galas a couple of years back, and they had some fantastic dancers and food at their gala. Maybe going back through that methodology, we might be able to get some of those people that were like the young folk that were the dancers, maybe to show up for that event, that type of event. So let me see if I can circle back through to our former deputy mayor, and he has contacts within that cricket group and put me into contact with somebody that way.
Okay.
And some of that group.
Okay, Stella, your hands up.
Yes, I'm a member of the cricket group. I know the group, the dancers that you are referring to. So
Maybe
I might.
Then you can contact.
Yeah, I'm part of the cricket group.
Okay, so it looks like we've got lots of opportunities to contact. Can I step back to 5-4 for a second? There is another event that we have the potential to attend. I know it's going to be on short notice. May 4, which is a Saturday. There is a arts event at Trinity United. It's a multicultural crafts and arts performance. So there'll be, I know there's some Bhangra dancers coming. I haven't seen the whole program yet, but there's some other music events from some different cultures. There's also some crafts from different cultures. So I'm wondering if we can have a small table there as well. If that's, I know it's short notice and all. Yep, go ahead, Mandeep.
Sorry, what time is the event?
It starts at 10:30 in the morning and it runs until 3.
Okay. I can volunteer for that day.
Okay, do we have any brochures, or I guess that might be an Alice question. We don't have any information printed up. How can we proceed on that? Can we pull something up together, maybe have something with our mandate on it? And it doesn't have to be an awful lot, Alice, maybe, I don't know, 50 copies. And we just have a table there and, okay, sure. If you're going to be available, Mandeep, that would be terrific. Yeah. And it's going to be inside, so weather's not going to be an issue. Anyone else?
What date is it?
Stella, it's May the 4th. It's a Saturday.
I can probably join Mandeep, but I'm not sure for the entire duration of the time, but I can be there. Wow.
Okay. Thank you.
And where is the venue is at the Unite?
At Trinity United. Yeah, it used to be, I guess it's formerly Trinity United Church. It's not a church event. It's in fact, they're going to de-church the decor for the event on the day of, but it's a good opportunity to maybe get the message out. So,
is that the one on? Is that this church on Owen?
Yes, it's the one across from the library, Duluth.
Okay. Okay. Good.
Yeah. Okay. So can we maybe throw some responsibility to Alice to get 50, one-pagers, maybe with our mission statement and some of our goals and what we do together for that event. And then we'll have a table there. I'll just, it's a free event, and I'll advise the organizers of that event that we would like to attend. Okay, and do we have any signage available? Let me just for a front. Okay, and we'll print something up. That won't be too difficult to do. Stella?
Yeah, we have our T-shirts, so I don't know how many of us still have it. Anyone going can wear the T-shirt.
Yeah, that might be
all the programs.
Well, I don't have one, so
yeah.
I have them for you at the office.
Okay, so I'll drop by and get it from you one day.
Yeah. Anyone else not?
I know Mandeep doesn't either. I'll email those who don't have them just so I can confirm sizing and make sure that what I have is going to be suitable.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
Great.
Can we get
Okay.
tags for them, Alice, by that time?
Pardon me, Walter?
Can we get their name tags for them by that time?
I have those too.
What am I doing here? Alice, you've got this all dialed in. Okay. Any other, if there's no more new business, anyone? Last call for new business? Okay, could we have a motion to adjourn this meeting? Okay, Walter, I see Walter and Stella. Okay, all in favor of adjournment? Great, thank you all for coming out. Appreciate the new membership, Mandeep and Francis. Drive safely if you're still driving. And we'll see you all at
No, I'm home now.
You're home now? Okay, all right. Phew,
Thank
good.
you. Have a good day.
Right. Okay, good night, everybody.
Okay, bye. Bye, everyone.